All right. So before we jump into the Ghostbusters Frozen Empire trailer, there's actually something that I want to say. All right. And for the most part, it has been on my chest for 7 years. The 2016 Ghostbusters movie is absolute fucking garbage. Like, it is trash. However, Ghostbusters Afterlife is fantastic. Which is I am assuming that Ghostbusters Afterlife, because I don't know anything about this trailer, but I'm assuming that Ghostbusters Afterlife is the first part, and this is basically the sequel to that. The 2016 Ghostbusters movie is hot trash. Uh, it is both of these movies, interestingly enough, are what to do and what not to do when you're reimagining something for a new generation, which is essentially for Ghostbusters Afterlife. What do? They honored the legacy of the characters that came before. They honored the characters that came before. But they told a new story with a new set of characters. Then there was a little bit of overlap, some nostalgia sprinkled in for the original fans, but for the most part, it is a spirited successor. You do not walk away from this film feeling as though any of the characters that you're essentially introduced to are just these weird, dumbed down caricatures of characters that you basically had before. The new Stranger Things cast of Afterlife was fantastic. They were dope as hell. You go back to the 2016 Ghostbusters and you run into everything you're not supposed to do. It spends a good chunk of the time taking a shit on the characters that came before, where it takes a good chunk of the time just taking an absolute dump on all of the male characters from the original Ghostbusters. But then it presents its three of its core four characters, technically five. I'm going to include Chris Hemsworth, weird ass secretary, as an issue as well, as these weird caricatures of characters that we've essentially had before, where they're not as good as the original characters, but they needed these people to fill a role. Um, Winston, the only black guy on the original Ghostbusters, unless you watch the cartoon, his character was never a joke. Like, Winston was about that business. He showed up and he was like, "How much money are you guys paying? You say we get to beat the hell out of ghosts? Come on, let's go." Like everyone else, he's subjected to funny things that happen to his character, but for the most part, he is a serious member of the team. But when you jump to the 2016 version, what is her name again? Her name is hold on. When you jump to the 2016 version, I can't remember her name, but she's a comedian. Leslie Jones? I want to say it's Leslie Jones. Is it Leslie Jones? Leslie Jones. When you get to Leslie Jones's character in the 2016 version, she's only there for comedic relief. Her character is essentially an absolute fucking joke. Like, nothing that she does provides anything to what the core team is doing. The only person in that entire cast who I would save is Kate McKinnon's character. And I think Kate McKinnon played she played Holtz. Holtz was the only person from the original cast that I would save because she was really good. Like, really, really good. She was the basically the mad scientist that was just making these dope ass ghost weapons so that she can hunt her ghost. Kate McKinnon's character is basically Danny Phantom's mother from the cartoon. Like, she's just this super smart scientist that's making these dope ass weapons to catch shit. That's it. Everybody else, generic carbon copies of what we originally had from the core cast back in the 90s. And that's the reason why that movie cratered, and why people actually had kind of like a soft spot for Afterlife, because Afterlife didn't do any of that. Afterlife took premises from the original movie, introduced a completely new cast, and then honored the cast that came before. So none of my little mini rant is over. We're going to jump into the new trailer for Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Like I said, I have no clue what this is about in any way, shape, or form. Let's go.
I'm telling you, it's going to be another hot one out there. In fact, there are heat alerts in effect for New Jersey, feeling like 100 degrees.
Here goes the fun.
What is that?
Oh, wait a minute.
For the first time in New York history, people froze to death in the middle of July.
What is it?
The death chill. The power to kill by fear itself. Your veins turn to rivers of ice. Your bones crack. And the last thing you see is your own tear ducts freezing up.
Like, literally scared to death? So cool.
Look, Paul Rudd's Ant-Man movies may not be hitting, but I'm really, really hoping this hits. Talk about going for the instantaneous scare factor. Like, whew, like I feel as though a lot of people forget that the best parts of the original Ghostbusters movies was when like they dialed that creep and horror factor up to around 11, and then they sprinkled in and peppered in that comedy to keep the humor super fucking dark. It seems as though we're going towards that again. Same thing that we had with Afterlife. I like this concept right here. As somebody who watched the original films, played the video game on the PlayStation 2, watched the TV show, like I'm hoping that this movie is a launching pad for them to introduce what were they called? It was like the paranormal something 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 department, where basically the Ghostbusters expanded from their base in Manhattan, and the government came in and were like, we like what you guys are doing. You guys are the only ones who can basically deal with these major threats. We're going to turn this into an entire organization. The funny thing is, the guy who runs that organization is let me see if I can find him. Let me see if I can find him. Walter Peck. And I don't know if you remember who Walter Peck is, but this guy right here, Walter Peck, the dude from the very first one who tried to shut them down, he turns off the defensive shielding for their containment device and basically causes Armageddon in downtown Manhattan. So Peck goes off and realizes, holy shit, the supernatural is real. I was in the wrong, and creates this clandestine organization and then incorporates the Ghostbusters into that organization so that they can, across the nation, hunt down supernatural threats that are a danger to essentially humans and humanity. Where the Ghostbusters kind of act as like funnily enough, the A1 strike force. When a situation just gets completely out of hand, they basically send them in, but for the most part his agents are there to clean up the situation and then also contain the situation using technology that Egon basically sold to them to basically keep the lights on so that he can work on other things so that they can capture their own ghosts. I'm hoping please tell me William Arterton is still alive. Like what? Like please tell me William Arterton as Walter Peck is still with us. I would sorely hate to discover that he has shuffled off his mortal coil. That would make me very, very sad. No, he's still alive. Good. Good. Because if they ever wanted to bring him back, yes, I would 100% be there for him coming back and them setting up like an entire just Ghostbusters organization with the old crew and the new crew. And it's great to see both the crews working together to basically solve this threat, just like I was talking about like 5 minutes ago, honoring what came before while also, introducing a completely new cast to carry on the legacy. Yeah, it's crazy how that works. But let me know what you think about Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.